Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Talk here on TV 35. I am your host, Pat Brock, and of course, we're here at the campus of the West Lawrence Raiders, and we've got the great coach, Danny Johnson, who's doing a lot of sports right now, but we're focusing on cross country. How's it going, Coach?
It's going great, Pat. Always nice to see you.
Always a pleasure. Now, share with us about last year, how last season went. Of course, you are definitely living a legacy right here.
Oh, I don't know about that, but we are fortunate. Our cross-country team has been successful the last 2 years, winning the region title. It seems like it gets tougher every year, repeating, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But last year we had a good season. We basically finished in the top 5 in every meet that we win, in a very competitive schedule. And then when we got to the region meet in late October last year, we knew it was going to be a dogfight between us and Perry for the region title, and it was on their home course, so that was going to be difficult, an aspect of it. But we were fortunate, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, we came out like 3 points ahead of them in the finish, and so that's just that's just a place or two for each kid. I mean, it was amazing how close it was, and we were very fortunate to win the region title. And then the following week we went on to state, and the year before we had finished 8th in the state, which was our best finish, and we repeated that 8th place finish last year.
Very
so
nice.
hopefully we can do very well this year, at region and state as well.
And how do you keep these young men motivated? I mean, because
well, yeah, you really don't want to get complacent.
Right.
You don't want to fall into a rut and just think, hey, we can just go through the motions and get the same results we've gotten for the last 2 years. That's not how it's worked. We struggled. When I first took the program over, I guess 2010 or so, making the top 4 in our region. Top 4 go to state, and we were just glad a couple of years to get it in the top 4, and there were a couple of years where we didn't get top 4, and that was very disappointing. But hopefully these guys still feel that hunger.
Right.
It's no different than any other sport, trying to repeat, and at the professional level or anything like that. You just got to train. You got to train harder, and those other teams in our region, they didn't like us winning, so
right.
They're doing what they can and
right.
have to try to dethrone us, and we got to be willing to accept that challenge. And hopefully the key this year, I think, is just staying healthy and being able to train and prepare for late October,
right.
early November.
Now, have you had to deal with a lot of injuries, Coach?
We have had to deal with some injuries. Something that we really haven't had to deal with much in the past, and a lot of times that happens on teams in football that win the Super Bowl the previous year. An injury or two pops up in the preseason the next
right.
season, and it just makes it difficult to repeat. And but hopefully, cross country is a long season. We start here at the 1st of August, and we go all of August, September, October, 3 full months.
Yeah.
So if you're going to have injuries, have them early,
right.
And then take enough time off, hopefully to get fully recovered, and then work out as best you can to be as fast as you can in
That's
October.
Right. Very good. And Coach, if you had to tell us what the secret to your success is, because I mean, you're a legend here, Coach. We like to say that, and so these guys love running for you. They love playing for you. What is the secret to that?
I think it's a couple of things. Number one, relationships. Develop relationships with your runners, your players. If we're talking tennis, show them that you care.
Right.
Show them that you care about them. Show them that you care about winning. Show them that you really do care about success. And it's not all about success, but it is about working hard and setting goals and working towards achieving them.
That's right, and you guys are definitely doing a great job at that. So we're expecting great things from you this year. I mean, of course, not just a repeat, but also to kind of knock that ladder down a little bit and get closer with that state.
Exactly. In the state, at the state level, we'd be thrilled to finish better than 8th this year. We in 4A we run against some very tough teams, particularly the private schools of St. Pius and Marist and Blessed Trinity and Woodward are all in there. It's kind of unique at the state meet. We're here and we got Marist on one side and St. Pius on the other, but we accept that challenge, and we're right in there with them.
And what do you think about having those private schools, of course, competing with you all when you're talking about the region and the championships? I mean, they always are stacked pretty high.
Yeah, they are. Some
we
people
can go on and on about
that. Yeah. Well, we've lost a lot of times in tennis to them as well, but it's a great challenge. I mean, if you're going to be there, just try to do the best you can, and you want to compete against the best.
That's right.
And they train just like us. They're not bionic or anything, so we can if we work as hard or harder than they can, who's to say we can't get up there and and be in that top 5 or so.
All right, so we're going to meet some of these runners right now.
That's right.
Always a pleasure seeing you at the helm and doing such a great job.
Thank you, Pat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Coach Danny Johnson.
Hi, I'm Chuck Harwell, President and CEO of the Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County. I would like to personally invite you to come in and open an account with us. Our service and lending professionals know what it takes to make life easy and convenient, and will help you get set up with our mobile and online banking right away. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you with your personal or business accounts. We want to assist you in securing loans for your automobile, home, land, or whatever financial goals you may have in life. We founded Community Bank on common sense banking and a dedication to help people just like you with your personal or business accounts. Visit us at Community Bank of Dublin-Lawrence County and come in and see why common sense banking never goes out of style.
Fairview Fitness Center, open 24/7 with staffed hours available every day. Fairview Fitness Center, serving our community for over 30 years. Push your fitness further with our gym facilities, fitness classes, freestyle areas, and more. Join today and see the benefits of a healthy life. All new members are provided with a complete health assessment upon request, and new members are provided with a fitness orientation to familiarize themselves with exercise equipment, all by one of our staff exercise physiologists. For more information, call 353-1900. Visit us at 200 Industrial Boulevard behind Fairview Hospital, or log on to fairviewfitness.com.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and now it's your opportunity to meet some of these awesome young men who are part of the West Lawrence Raiders cross-country team. And, of course, this familiar face here, I tell you, always great to see you two. Why don't you share with us about you, who you are, and the things that you're involved in, okay? We want to hear about you.
All right, I'm Dawson Barron. I run, of course, cross-country. I run track during the other half of the year for school. Right. I do band. I'm in the Raider Brigade, and I play percussion.
Very nice. Now, what kind of clubs are you involved in?
Oh, absolutely none.
None. This takes up your time, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what's your experience been like, of course, in the Raider Brigade and also running cross-country?
It's definitely tough, especially during August. I usually don't get to go home till 8.
Oh, wow.
Yes, It's tiring.
And now, do you ever have time to yourself, like that me time that we often talk about? Have you ever heard of such a thing?
Yes, I said this last year, but I lie there, don't do anything.
Just the stillness?
Just stillness.
No responsibilities?
It's actually quite frightening.
Yeah. But you do such a great thing. So you need that time to be lying there in the stillness, right?
Yes, I do.
Hey, son, talk to us.
Hey, how you doing? Very good. That's very well. My name is Jose Ybarra Flores. I have been running cross-country team for about 4 years now. I'm currently in the band, doing that for 4 years now. And I also played the saxophone in the band.
Very nice.
I enjoyed it, played it all my years. It's quite fun, and it's quite sad this year because it's my senior year, and it's sad to leave, but exciting at the same time to move on and go forward with life.
Let me ask you this. So, you talk about your senior year. What are you going to miss most about your senior year, about high school in general?
Well, definitely my friends, especially that one right there standing next to me.
You two act like you're like best friends.
Oh, well, he's one of a kind right now.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that he's one of a kind. And so for you, you've been running for quite some time. Tell us about your experience with the cross-country team, and what areas have you seen yourself improving with your time, and how you're pacing yourself?
Well, when I came in my freshman year, it was definitely something new to me. I started, first of all, in my 8th grade year in middle school.
Right.
Then I continued going through my 9th grade year, and I really enjoyed the team, very encouraging team. They help out with everything you need, and they're always there for you. So I continued all my years into my senior year, and I continue with that role with all the freshmen that are coming up.
That's good. So you remember when you were a freshman.
Yes.
And now here you are, you're in a position to be a great leader to for the other ones to follow. And for you, I mean, you know, every time I see you, we just light up, don't we? And you know, for you, your personality, what is it about you that that's about you that these young men look up to?
Well, usually it's about time and stuff like that, running, and it's about improving. Usually what I try to do during the meets, I try to improve about a minute or so each time, and I believe if I can do that, I can get others to follow along. If I can get others pumped up in order to do that, I can just do that.
You've got the personality to do that, don't you?
Yes, I do. Very loud.
Very loud, but you know, that's okay. And so fellas, for you, this is your senior year. And so what's next for you after high school? Have you made plans?
Yes, ma'am. I plan on going to the military. Been talking to a lot of recruiters, especially the Marines and Army.
Two great organizations. So you haven't decided which one yet?
No, ma'am, I have not.
All
but
right.
when I do, it's going to be a real great experience.
You're gonna have to let us know about it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, very good. And so for you, now once your sidekick here is gone, what are you gonna do with yourself?
I don't know, probably just cry every night.
Yeah, every night.
I'm
And so
devastated.
that's right. And fellas, before you go, tell us about your experience working under Coach Danny Johnson, because you know he does require a lot of you guys, but he also gives a lot. Tell us about his coaching style and what you've learned from him.
Well, he's definitely a one-of-a-kind coach. There's not really many coaches out there that'll get out there and actually run with you.
Right.
Danny Johnson is just a person he's very loud, and he knows how to actually get people to do what they need to do.
Yeah. And you follow suit.
Of course.
All right. Tell us about your experience with Coach Danny Johnson.
Definitely a great coach. I grew up with him since the freshman year, of course. And throughout the years, he's definitely evolved and gotten really a great coach. And I love him like he was an actual dad to us.
Yeah.
Like we're like a family today. We're all brothers, and he's like our dad. Definitely love how he runs with us. I love about that because like Dawson said, not much coach do that.
Right.
And he actually gets to feel and connect with us and see what we go through while running.
And that's wonderful that you all have the connections that you've made with the coach and also with one another. All right, good to see you. I look forward to this year with you, man. All right, and always a pleasure.
Of course.
All right, thanks, fellas. All right, we've got two more young men that are going to share with us today about themselves and, of course, the experiences they've had here at West Lawrence and, of course, running cross country. Hey, fellas, how's it going?
Great. How are you doing?
Doing well. Good to see you both. All right, young man. Now, this is our first time chatting together,
ma'am.
right? All right, so share with us about you and some things that you're involved in, okay?
Well, this is my second year running cross country. I ran last year, and I play baseball. I've played that all my life, and most of the time during the summer, I just work, try to make a little bit more money than most people do.
So you're a working man.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and so you're a baseball player too. Is that your main sport or cross country is?
Oh, it's kind of, they're two different seasons, so it's kind of, I focus on one each part of the year, and then when I'm in my off season, I just train for the upcoming,
Right.
which one comes
And
next.
what do you love about cross country?
I just love the competition, not so much the running part. I just,
So you, so not necessarily running cross country, but the fact that you're competing with someone.
yes, ma'am. I just like being able to push myself and go against other people who are better than me.
Very good. And for you as a freshman, you say you're a working man.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, how long have you been working?
Well, I started about 2 years ago because my dad owns his own construction and roofing business. So I worked in the summer with him, and we go pretty much everywhere around Dublin and around the state to work.
So you're doing construction work.
Yes, ma'am.
How cool is that?
It's nice going around and seeing. It opens your eyes about how everybody else lives in the world and how everybody else does their things.
That's right. Well, good to meet you, young man. All right, sir, share with us, please.
Hey, I'm Paul Kellum, and I run cross country here, obviously.
Obviously.
And I've kind of been running since my 6th grade year. Something I really enjoyed working hard at.
Yeah.
and I'm going to continue to enjoy this junior season and senior year coming up.
That's
so.
wonderful, Paul. Now, are you playing other sports, or this is it for you?
I play baseball in the spring, yes, ma'am.
Do you? Very good. Now, you know, I asked him about one being your main sport. We know that they're different times, but which one do you have the most passion about?
It's hard to say. You know, different parts of the year make you feel different ways. So right now, obviously, I'm in cross-country mode, and then during spring, it's baseball. So
That's right.
it's two great sports, and it's hard to pick.
That's right. Now,
So-
here you are. You guys are region champions 2 years in a row.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what ways have you seen yourself improve?
Well, not just as a runner, but as a person, too, out here with a great group of guys who we've grown closer, and relationships are really valued out here.
Yeah.
And it's great to see how people evolved as runners and as people out here.
And I've been hearing a lot about that, and you speak from a very mature standpoint here, Paul. Do you consider yourself one of the leaders of the team?
Well, I think it's all kind of a brotherhood out here. We're all grouped together, and there's not really one leader, but we all strive to honor God and, you know, glorify Him and work as hard as we can out here to get better every day.
That's wonderful.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right, young man, so you've had to transition.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and you've transitioned from the middle school. How was your middle school time with cross country, and what's changed for you now that you're with upperclassmen and, of course, running farther?
Well, last year I surprisingly did very well for my first year, and last year I wasn't looking forward to running 3 miles, but I didn't really train during the off season. I wish I would have, but once I got out here and started working and training with all these, it just kind of fell into place, and I wasn't really worried about it.
Right, so it's all falling into place. And so, guys, we always kind of want to push ourselves to be better, right?
ma'am.
And so what are some of your goals for this year?
Well, personally, I'd like to be in the 15s this year, break the 16-minute barrier, so be in the
nice.
15. So I'm going to work hard and then have a great summer, working hard, and I'm going to continue to get back into shape and get where I need to be.
Very
And
good.
the ultimate goal is region championship and
There it is.
state championship too.
There
So
it is.
impressive.
And you're talking about, your work ethic.
Yes, ma'am.
What type of work ethic do you have? Because a lot of times you got to do a lot of work off season in order to be the best. And so what's your work ethic like when it comes to sports and also with academics?
Well, academics and cross country are very demanding. Out in the schoolhouse, you got to work hard every day, and you can't afford to take days off out here because
That's right.
you'll get behind and it's hard to catch up, especially junior year. I'm finding that out for myself.
Your junior year is a special time.
Yes, ma'am.
I remember my junior year, and I loved it so much, but that's also the time where you really have to consider your future, and where you want to go.
Yes, ma'am. That's starting to really become an issue on my mind, too, thinking about it a lot. But, both cross country and academics require a lot of,
Yeah.
hard work and dedication. So I've had a good summer training, and also you got to split your time between school and running and, other activities, too, because you don't want to get tied down and, enjoy.
That's right.
Doing a
Very
lot of
good, young
things.
man. Very
Yes,
good.
ma'am.
And so for you, when we're talking about this work ethic, it's something that has to be internal within you. Tell us about what drives you, because you're involved in a lot of things. You're working. Tell us about all that.
Well, I just like push myself and seeing what I can do, and one thing is that's why I did cross country and just kind of fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I just want to see how good I can get at it before I had to graduate, because I like running. Like I said, I like the competition. I just like seeing what all I can do.
All right. And there's more that's to come for you, isn't there?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. It's a pleasure meeting you, young man. Mr. Kellum,
Thank
always
you.
a pleasure.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, fellas.
The winning team is always ready,
Dublin Chevrolet!
and we got a team that can't be beat.
Go team go!
Hustle on in and see what all the excitement's about.
Dublin Chevrolet, the only dealer you'll ever need.
I had my wedding out here May 5th. It was beautiful. Mr. Richard is amazing to work with, very attentive to detail, and keeps everything very nice and neat out here.
Mr. Nesbitt is a top-notch fella. He's a very honest and wonderful person to do business with. He makes everything easy.
He always makes sure it's in tip-top shape. I definitely would recommend Mr. Nesbitt and this place.
We're conveniently located just 1 mile off Interstate 16 on Highway 19. Let our team take care of every detail of your next event. Call us today at 278-1295 or 278-1217. Renesda Banquets and Events, 1827 Highway 19 South, just 1 mile south of Interstate 16 in Dublin.
All right, we've got two more with us, fellas. I tell you, this has been such a great day, just kind of getting to see you guys, and I think this is our first time interviewing.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So we're going to get to hear all about you, and we want you to kind of share with yourselves. But this young man right here, I remember that deep voice of yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Talk to us about you and tell us about some things that you've been involved in, okay?
Well, my name's Joshua Phillips, and this will be my 4th year running cross country now. And I actually just moved here last year. Last year would have been my first year running with West Lawrence. I lived in Jeff Davis previously before that.
How was your transition last year?
It was pretty good, like playing two sports, because I play baseball too. So playing two sports, you kind of meet a lot of new people and kind of make a lot of friends, so it makes the move a whole lot easier.
And what they say about the relationships you all are building, that they're special, that they're like
Yes,
families.
ma'am.
Are you sensing that, John?
Yes, ma'am, I really feel it. 'Cause I'm like a brother with all my teammates out
There
here.
it is. There it is. And tell us about some things that you're involved in here, because I know you're playing baseball, but you're doing some things outside of school, right?
Yes, I work mostly. That's about all I do.
What do you do?
I work on a hog farm.
Oh my gosh! And so that's a lot of work. I mean, I grew up on a farm where we had hogs and had chickens, and that is a lot of work. So what's a day like for you working?
Well, usually I'll go out there, because I have to go after cross country, so I'll get out here about 6, and then I gotta go out. I gotta wash all the pens, and I gotta run the feed line and water all the boars and sows and do all that. So I'll get home about 8:30, 9 o'clock at night.
Now you do that by yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at this work ethic that you're developing, and you know, working on a farm. I tell you, it is something that, I mean, it requires so much work, so much skill. And you've been doing this for how long?
Well, I've always lived on a farm and done work, but since I've actually been like employed, like getting paid now, only about a month or 2.
That's all right. That's all right. You're getting paid for your labor.
Yes, ma'am. Finally.
Finally. All right. And so talk to us, son. What's been going on with you?
My name is Evan Carter, and I run cross country and play baseball at this school.
What other things do you do? Are you involved in any clubs or anything, or you volunteer? Tell us about those things.
I'm in Beta Club, and today I actually interviewed for Lawrence Youth Leadership.
Oh, high five.
And I'm in FCA.
Very good.
Yes, ma'am.
And you know, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes is a great organization. Tell us, you know, why it's important for you to be a part of that.
Well, it's important for us to be a part of FCA so we can grow closer in our relationship with God and like pursue a Christian life.
That's right. Very good. And you know, and it's like, it's so part of my life, like my faith. And so here it is, you're a young man, an athlete. What do you do as far as your faith? How do you incorporate that in everything that you do?
Well, during baseball and cross country, I try to strive to help others reach Christ and all they do, and
that's
just
wonderful.
Influence them. Yes, ma'am.
You're like a little evangelist. And so for you guys, I mean, cross country, I mean, you guys won region last year. I bet that was exciting for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And so, you know, what are some things that you want to make sure that you accomplish this year? Because you always want to strive to do better and to do more. What are some things that you want to accomplish this year? Not just with cross country, but with all things that you're working on.
Well, one thing I would like to do is I'd like to win region again this year, and then go on to place higher in state than we have, because we've placed 8th the last 2 years. So I want to push to get higher than 8th this year.
Yeah.
And I really just want to improve myself as a runner.
How's your timing gotten?
I'm a little slower starting out from this year, but I'll pick it up.
You're going to get that momentum pretty
Yes,
soon.
ma'am.
And what about you? Have you been setting some goals, some personal goals for yourself?
Yes, ma'am. I've been setting a goal to be in the 18-minute range in my 5K. Last year, I was in 19s.
Yeah.
This year, I started off a little bit slow, but I'm trying to get there.
Yeah.
And we hope to win region for the 3rd year in a row.
And then chip away at that state, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And you know, guys, what motivates you? Because, you know, we're meeting a lot of guys and a lot of people here, the girls, talking to them about what motivates them to run. You know, what, and you've got to have something like to kind of prepare your mind, you know what I mean? Because you're running for quite some time. You're talking about chipping away at your time. I mean, what goes through your mind when you're running cross country to keep yourself focused? What are you doing?
Well, one thing I always like to do is I like to focus on the finish. Like, if you focus on the right here and now, then you're just going to burn yourself out, because you're going to get down. But if you focus on what you're actually going towards and striving towards, you think, well, what I'm going through right now ain't nothing what it's going to be like at the end. It's going to be a whole lot better when you finish than it is right now.
In other words, you're keeping your eye on the prize.
Yes, ma'am.
Very good. What about you, sir?
Well, when I'm racing, I think about the finish line, and I think about trying to pass the person in front of me. And, I mean, I wear my watch when I run, but I've really tried not to look at it, because that kind of does slow me down. But
I just try to get into a faster time than the last race.
Very good. And so you're slowly chipping away, getting better as you go. Well, good. It's been a pleasure to see you. This was a good interview, young
Yes,
man.
ma'am.
You did very well.
Thank you.
And always a pleasure to see you, young man.
ma'am.
You know, this has been really a great day for you to meet some of the runners here for the West Lawrence boys cross country team to kind of talk about some of the things that they've done to improve themselves, the things that they're working on, and just the relationships and the bonding that they tend to do here as teammates, and of course as well with their great coach, Danny Johnson. So look, we look forward to seeing you run.
All right.
And hopefully sing next time, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Good to see you, son.
too.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all the time we have for Real Talk here on TV 35, and please keep watching.